last chance saloon then in one of the biggest opportunities that these drivers will face. The final round approaches and the top four are all here this evening. The championship all but wrapped up as things stand, but second place is still on offer with 3 of those drivers still fighting it out for position. We're at Road America here on Racebot TV and iRacing Live. You're watching the final round of the Formula Renault 2.0 series. Next. Chances then are going to be few and far between. Just 13 laps then stand between drivers from victory and from defeat. A 4-mile circuit in exactness. 14 turns then around this beautiful Road America circuit here. It's Friday night primetime on Racebot TV and streaming live on iRacing Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Sperry joined once again with the man of Paul Smith beside me. Paul, a difficult circuit. It has everything you need. Fast straight, slow corners, difficult challenges and a long lap. Spolstra, championship leader as things stand, has the lead by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, we're just at the start of qualifying, and yeah, these drivers now putting their lap times in. The first lap competed. As you say, it's a long lap here. Just 13 laps is the race, and it's not the widest of tracks either. So it will make overtaking a little bit difficult, but with those long straights, you can really make the most of the slipstream.
Yeah, you certainly can. It will be all about who can get that lap time in, who can get themselves then to the top of the tree. Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Tateres, our good old friend then in the number 8. He will not do himself a lap there. He's managed to find an off-track somewhere around. But just to demonstrate just how difficult this can be, Paul Smith, you're standing by with a lap of Road America.
We're here for the finale of the iRacing Formula Renault 2.0 Championship here at Road America. And we're on board with Oleg Kvoka in the Racebot car as we're heading down towards turn number 1 here. Tricky braking point here. You look to the cone to the left, get on the brakes there, through this right-hander. Get down to 4th gear there, mid-corner, under the little bridge here, through turn 2, this right-hand kinker, then hard on the brakes into 3. Want to carry as much speed as you possibly can on the apex there, so using the curbs. It was a 3rd gear apex, that one. Now we're flat on the throttle here. You're going to see plenty of overtaking opportunities down here towards turn number 5, using the slipstream of the car in front, and that's going to be crucial as we head on down here. Look for your braking point just before the 1 board, down to 2nd gear, tight left-hander. Use the curbs on the right-hand side. We're heading uphill towards turn 6. It's a crest. You can't see the apex until the last minute. Manages to get it there to the apex. A little bit of a twitch there on the apex as we go through. Turn 7 now, flat out here as we're going down the hurry downs in towards turn number 8. It's downhill braking, so it's difficult to get your braking right. This corner catches out so many people. You don't want to go too far wide on the right hand side there. And now through the carousel, this long right-hander. It's important to hug that inside curb and then let the car run out on the apex to try and carry as much speed as he possibly can. And then we're going to go through the kink here, absolutely flat out here through the kink. Use a little bit of curb on the left-hand side here. And then through this left-handers, just these little slight left-handers here as we're heading down towards Canada Corner. Keep the car to the left, brake hard, down to third gear. You can carry more speed through here than you think you would. Use the runoff there on the left-hand side. Get it through this right, and then the left-hander at Bill Mitchell Bend. Very easy to understeer off there, but he's managed to keep it on track and down towards the final corner, turn 14. It's important to carry your speed through there as well. It was third gear apex, and now you're flat out on the throttle, up the hill towards the finish line, and that is a lap of the fantastic Road America course.
You can see a lap on board then with Ollie Kvoka. Paul Smith was standing by with that one. Mark Usher drive to the line. Second lap. Needs to get this sorted. Needs to find 4/10 of a second. What will he find then? Will the number 4 machine answer as he gets to the line up the hill? He does have 204.591. It's just not enough fractions. Says that he cannot get pole position. As things stand right now, qualifying is going to be all but sorted. I don't think anyone else is going to get back to set another lap. This is how your grid will look then here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boris Spolstra, the number 3 Scuderia Leone car, is going to be on pole position at 204.545. When all is said and done, Mark Usher will join up alongside. And Schwita then will start on the second row, championship contender, as is Angus Waddell as well in fourth there. Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Thaceres there will start on row 3. Rob Burr there, good qualifying from him alongside with Jerome de Quartel 7th and Scott Newton in 8th. Dave Martin will start 9th with Fabio Milani there rounding out the top 10. Aseo Tellez there in 11th position with Carolis Jovaiza there in 12th. John Godfrey then will start 13th with Rodrigo Zaza there in 13th. Laurinus Vaitikunas then in 15th position with Claude Jenset in 16th. Scott McIntyre there with David Waldock in 18th. Jurian Gronen there in 19th with Gary Teal there in 20th. And then the final 3 cars are Daniel Araujo, Ollie Kvoka and Luis Felipe rounding out 23 cars on the grid. Kvoka will be running a different livery then to what we normally see to normal because he is paying homage to the death of his father, so commiserations and our heartfelt condolences then from everyone here in Racebot TV. 2 minutes to the grid before you have to get yourself then onto pit road to start this final race. A difficult one into turn number 1, a very narrow track as we said before. Difficult in terms of getting past on the outside of the circuit there. You're struggling to go 3 wide in places around this circuit. Normally you will be there line astern at 2x2 trying to get yourself down in. And the corners, well, it is a clockwise circuit though. It will always favour that driver heading into the right-hand corner on that right-hand side of the circuit then. Spolstra is 200 points clear then in the championship. We don't expect him to lose the championship on this race, but remember there are a few drop weeks that there are available in this series, so Spolstra has used them to his advantage by not really being here the last 3 weeks, but he is here to showcase what he can do. Usher, Svita and Waddell, 50-point split, the 3 of them. Anything can happen then in this situation. For the final time this season, let's get the engine notes up in the air. And let's get ourselves going then here at Road America. It's a good start by Spolstra. Usher then will fall into line. They all fall single file then. You can see they're snaking already then 2 wide behind. As you can see, it is Scott Newton and Dave Martin going side by side. Now Usher tries to go for the race lead then into turn number 1. And Schwita tried around the outside. He gets caught a little bit out off guard then. And Usher's still going to try here. Spolstra will go defensive down in towards turn number 3 here, Paul. And for the moment here, the run as they come to turn number 5 means that at the moment, Usher's going to have the big advantage.
Yeah, he's got the big advantage, but look behind him as well. Jan Schwitter really trying to put the pressure on here, and Schwitter holding that slipstream behind Boris Spolstra, but there's nowhere to go here. They're trying to go 3 wide down towards turn number 5. They're going through that left kink at 4. Oh, they're getting really close at the front here, and they're going into 5 now. Jan Schwitter looking to the inside. They're almost making contact, but everyone so far able to make it through in this race.
Yeah, now it's Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Thaceres losing touch. The Quartel tries to go there down the inside. Didn't quite work out then in his favour. Still got some side-by-side behind John Godfrey there. Having a little bit of a scrap with Rodrigo Zaza as things stand. There has been a crash though at the back of your field there, and it is Teal Araujo there involved as well there. A very early incident with 13 laps. There isn't too much opportunity then for all that to work in your favour. Waddell under threat now from Rob Burr. Exactly what he didn't want in his situation. He's the man that everyone's trying to beat, and he's furthest behind in this championship battle for second here, Paul.
Yeah, it certainly is. As you said at the start of the race there, 50-point split. The guys who are in second, third and fourth, and well, at the moment Waddell is the one in fourth, but he's second in the championship under pressure from Mark Usher. Rob Burr looking to try and get past Waddell, and I do believe he's actually made it work as well. Yes, he has. So Waddell down to fifth place now, down at Canada Corner. He's looking back there, looking down the inside of Bill Mitchell Bend, tricky corner, and well, Waddell makes that work and is back up to fourth.
Yeah, and look at Scott Newton behind that as well here. He's under threat from Fabio Milani. Alessio Teles tries the inside, and Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesaris runs a little bit wide. Here comes Jerome de Courtel up the hill now as they look to go through. And now this is the big drafting opportunity. This is where we can see that drag race then come towards the line. You can see weaving there up ahead as everyone looks to sort themselves out into the line. The gap is 8/10 at the front though. Spolstra is breaking away in that oh so familiar fashion that we have seen so far this season. But again, though, still side by side, the driver struggling there is Carlos Jovista then, who will lose the position to Dave Martin as well as they head into turn number 3. Not much you can do about that one, Paul, but you can see here this train certainly snaking behind the quarter.
Certainly are, and the thing is, Waddell, he's going to be kicking himself here because he's dropped way behind Schwitter and Usher, and in fact, Schwitter and Usher going side by side. Schwitter looking to the outside of turn number 5. Can he get on the power earlier? No, he can't, and Usher holds it off, gives him space, and well, Usher holding on to that second place for the time being. But all this fighting between these different drivers is just allowing Boris Sprolster just to pull away. Waddell runs a little bit wide on the exit of 6, able to keep it on track, but really close action further back, and you may see with this race as it goes on, just the red cars just spreading out a little bit. With it being a longer track, Scott Newton almost got contact from Milani, who's now under pressure from Teles.
Yeah, you can see just how that's starting to play now. Teles then rounding the carousel. This big long right-hander doesn't get the drive then through the second part as they head through turn number 10, a 2-part corner then, you could say. But look at this. Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesaris under pressure from that Apex Racing UK car. Scott Newton then looking for the move then down here in these kettle bottoms right now. Goes to the inside then as they head towards Canada Corner. The corner arch left, but he had so much overspeed. Teles then will go for it as well, and it's in through the corner and goes one. Won't happen for the other. Milani now looking at Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesaris, and will look for the inside here at Bill Mitchell, but not at Bill Mitchell. He will get the opportunity. Little wiggle there through the middle of the corner. Tejas runs a little bit wide. Down the inside again though tries Milani, and he gets it, but here comes the up and under though from Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesaris then as they go side by side as they head for one here, Paul.
Milani was squeezing him a little bit there, heading him towards the grass on the entrance to the pit lane, but well, they managed to keep it all. But clever, a little bit of grass tracking there going on. 3 wide. Oh, this is going to end up in a disaster if they're not careful here, Jake.
Yeah, and even before that, though, oh, there's contact there, and that's Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesaris off. Tejas goes off in sympathy. Martin takes 2 positions. What I wanted to talk about was Angus Waddell. He had contact on the straight with Jerome de Courtel there, and he's managed to fall behind in that instance there. 3-car train. Schwitter will look again, though, at Mark Usher then as they head themselves now towards this turn number 5 corner then. You can see he tries, but he backs out of it there. He just waits for a moment then, and he can't quite get it sorted just yet there. De Courtel down the inside of Rob Burr. This will allow Usher to get, not even Usher, Waddell to get a good run then behind in 3rd position now. Burr stuck at the outside, and there's down into the corner there. Bit of contact there as that was the driver of Angus Waddell running into the back. Maybe there's some front wing damage, and yes, he's bent up on the right hand side of his vehicle there, Paul.
And this is going to affect him now because there's a lot of medium to high speed corners around this track. He's going to be under pressure from Scott Newton behind straight away here, and Waddell's struggling here. You can see he's really just having to slow it down a little bit more, and Newton looking to the outside, maybe a little bit of contact there was. Newton's now got a little bit of damage on his front wing, so not the best race going on here for Waddell. He was 2nd place as we went into this week, and now another car's going through. So oh bang! Crash him off!
Milani involved in that one there, and he just misjudged the speed there into that corner. Unbelievable then. Milani has taken Waddell out of the race then. Let's get a replay up on your screen. All that damage there, all that worry was being too eager there from Angus Waddell falling behind then through. There was one position going through, and I have to say, that is a big oversight then from Fabio Milani through the corner. That is a big judge of speed there, 138 miles an hour. That's 10 miles an hour into the right-hander then, leading to the kettle bottoms there, Paul.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Angus Waddell now, you've got to pray that Mark Usher and Jan Schwitter come together and take each other out this one now, because that's his second place gone in the championship. De Cortel, he's side by side now with Rob Boer heading in towards turn 1, so action all the way through the field, and De Cortel in front of Boer, who's now getting a bit defensive here. Further back there was side by side as well. There was Felipe. Oh, and that was Zaza running wide at turn 1, and that's allowed the John Godfrey to go through. So Zaza losing a position there on the exit of turn 1.
Yeah, can't afford that. You can see just how far back Scott Newton's gone then. He's there down behind Gary Tail then when all is said and done. Vita Kunas then looking to get down the inside then of Jurian Gronen then. Battle further down in your pack for 15th position right now as they stand. Side by side they're going to go. As they go side by side ahead, Zaza and Godfrey then going at it. Godfrey on the inside then. Godfrey gets his nose down in. He'll take the position. There won't be a position taken then in the end for Jurian Gronen then. He'll lose the position. And now he's got David Wardock then looking all over behind him. He's not going to get him down into this next left-hand corner up the hill. Very difficult corner. Understated. That was where Waddell had the initial contact then that he couldn't afford right now. But look up further forward then. It's Carlos Jovista then looking at Rob Burr. He looks at the inside then of this corner here. This long carousel. Had to back out of it. Didn't have enough speed then to go through the mid part of the corner. That's going to compromise the run. And Rob Burr now needs to use De Cortel to his advantage.
Yeah, it's not really an overtaking opportunity around the carousel. You want to maybe just use that corner to set yourself up, get the exit out there to carry the speed all the way through the kink and down towards Canada corner. And, well, Rob Burr having to go a little bit defensive again, but keeping his line for the time being through this Canada corner now, turn 12. Oh, Burr just getting a little bit wide then, a little bit wild as they head now into Bill Mitchell Bend. He's under real pressure here so far from behind.
Yeah, he certainly is now, as it is Joe Weiser then who wants to make that move then in the 21, and he just can't quite do it for the moment. Then we'll need to get that run up through. Daniel Araujo is out of this event, so is Angus Waddell, and so is Ollie Kvoker as well. Wasn't the event that he was looking for. To the inside then goes that number 21 machine. He'll look to go down the inside of the 11 of Rob Burr, and you know what? There's the cones to mark the braking. He'll get the position, hang the man out to dry, but there is going to be an attempt of a back from Rob Burr. I don't think he's going to be close enough. There will have to be a defensive line taken, in my opinion, then from Joe Vista, and he can't quite get it getting Joe Weiser. So that will mean that for the moment, things will stay as they were right now. Tejas and Martin trying to get onto the back along with McIntyre, as Claude Genset then has Carlos Garcia, Rams de Lorenzo Cesares to the outside pool.
Yeah, he does, and well, those two side by side, although going to the extremes of the circuit limits here, giving each other a lot of space here as they head down into this turn 5, and Ganesh can I hold on to that position for the time being, looking for the cutback now. Can he get it? Can he get alongside in towards turn 6, this crest where you don't really see the apex there, and for the time being, Ganesh holds on to that 10th place, but earlier on, De Cortel on the exit of turn 1 was lucky not to lose control because he went bouncing over the grass, able to carry on. But really, these guys are pushing hard. But at the front, Spolstra, it's almost like a nice, calm, friendly Friday evening drive.
Friday evening drive it is then for Boris Spolstra as things stand right now. Here we are looking at a replay then of the race start on lap 1 in just a moment's time here, because it was all about everyone trying to get themselves in one or another as Usher runs a little bit wide coming out there of Canada corner. It was just a case of everyone goes single file, then they go too wide, and it was just a case of Spolstra managing to keep other people occupied as Usher had Schweiter and also the driver there trying to have that battle.
Yeah, it was a really clean start, to be fair, and those guys good. Rob Burr stopped. What's happened to Rob Burr? He's in the wall. He's going to be out this race, and it's on the exit of Bill Mitchell Bend. He hits the curb as we hopefully have a replay of that. He hit the curb on the exit of Bill Mitchell Bend. That bounces the car. He loses control and into the wall he goes. Absolute disaster for Rob. He was going so well up in 6th place then, and he is out of this race.
Unforced errors, though, they are the key to try and cut out, and that was one where he didn't have anybody else to really work in there. That is something that really didn't feature in his favour right now. You can see right now this battle going on in the middle of your pack. Aseo Tellers, Dave Martin, Scott McIntyre then. Get a graphic up on your screen, the biggest movers and shakers inside your top 10. Currently the biggest mover and shaker is Scott McIntyre. From 17th, he is up to 8th position. Make that 7th position as he looks at the driver of Dave Martin. Not going to get it just yet. They slow each other down enough, meaning that Tejas can get away. But for the moment, McIntyre's going to try again. Then down the inside of Martin here, up the hill into the left-hander. Get that another position. Plus 10, Scott McIntyre.
Fantastic driving from McIntyre, and he's going to be attacking shortly Tellez, but Tellez is actually catching up to De Cortel, who's lost the position, lost that 4th place now to Javisa. So really, De Cortel's just going a little bit backwards in this race so far. Doesn't quite seem to be having the pace of others, and down to 5th place in this one. Jan Schwitter has lost touch with Mark Usher as well, so that battle really isn't going to be happening too much now in this one. So it's all these mid-pack battles that will be the exciting part of this race. But Mark Usher, he must be feeling confident and comfortable for about that 2nd place in the championship.
Yeah, he certainly will right now, and you've got to remember here, they're all pushing to try and get those big results, then they're looking to try and score as many points as they can, and by some margin, they are a little bit reliable here on the other drivers here who are showing up. Look at this battle further down. Rodrigo Zaza looking at Luis Felipe here, battle for 11th position. Felipe's plus 12 for the day right now. He started from the back of the field. He's doing a great job. A little bit of a wiggle there from the car, and 3rd in the train of John Godfrey. Godfrey loses a little bit of traction then as he gets that aerodynamic push then working against him as things stands right now. Now up the hill they're going to come along looking for a way to do it, and there's the weaving starting to take effect there. Nobody wants to be using the draft down this incredibly long front straightaway. Into turn number 1 they're going to come along, and they're going to remain line astern for the moment here, Paul.
Yeah, everyone wants to try and break that draft, but it's so difficult. Everybody knows what's happening there, and they'll be able to make those moves. But Luis Felipe doing a good job of staying ahead in that 11th place, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure now as they go down this back straightaway now, down towards turn 5. And really, Felipe under pressure from Zaza, having to go defensive here. Zaza looking to the outside. It's all about the braking. Zaza trying to brake that a little bit earlier to get the better line through, to get the cutback. But Felipe holds on to that position, covers off the cutback, but behind as well, John Godfrey having to go defensive from Groenen.
Yeah, Groenen then starting to try and make the pressure work. It isn't working for him right now. What about, though, this battle that was going on? There was side-by-side 4th position between De Cortel and between the driver of Karolev's Joviza there in the number 21 machine then. And you can see behind that Asio Tellez waiting pretty. Just want to draw your attention back, though, to the front of the field then. It was a case of we are over half distance right now. Boris Bolstra's last lap time, though, was slower than Mark Usher's. Usher did a 2:04.4, a 2:04.6 from Boris Bolstra. By my reckoning, it won't be close by the end of the race, but as things stand right now, Boris Bolstra is being caught right now just a little bit by Mark Usher. We'll need to check the gap again as they come across the line. We'll see what lap times here are being done for Boris Bolstra then. You can see it's a long drive. It's a deceptively long drive up there as Paul, you spy something there that's gone very, very close.
Yeah, the exit of Canada Corner, and Zaza almost ended up in the wall there. Did a fantastic job to hold on to position, but, well, he held on to the car, should I say, but he's lost a position to John Godfrey, and he's about to lose another position now to Groenen. So losing 2 positions from one little mistake, running a little bit too aggressively over those outside curbs at Canada Corner, and that's him down from 12th place down to 14th.
Yeah, and that is the big key then. You've got to make sure that you are as clean as you can. Zaza then will look to the inside then. Here down into turn number 1, lap 8 of the event down the inside. He will get the move sorted, but the cutback's trying here at turn number 1. Now through this small little kink right to turn number 2. Doesn't mean anything right now as turn number 3 comes along and he can't quite get it sorted. Then we'll look for the run into turns number 4 and 5 though. We're still going to see some battling going on further forward though. Side by side are trying to go. And De Cortel finally gets the position sorted down the inside. He will get the position on João Weiser, but he goes instantly defensive to the left-hand side of the circuit. They're not going to take anything to chance then around the outside for João Weiser. Not going to happen anything as they head to the hurry downs, Paul.
Luis Felipe, by the way, has moved up a position as well, up into 10th place. A good work from him. But yeah, down the hurry downs and go into turn 8. And, well, you're under Cortel doing a good job. Runs wide there, though, on the exit of turn 8. And that's going to be, thank you very much, your visor. It's going to go alongside around the outside of the carousel, and he does it on the entry of the carousel. This is all allowing Tellez to catch up to the back of these two. So de Cortel, one little mistake, and it's easily done at turn 8, and that's lost him a position, and he's now under pressure from behind as well. But look at this now, trying to get the run through the kink. Very light defensive move positioning from Your Visor, but de Cortel has got the better speed. He got the better run through the kink into Canada corner. They go side by side. Your Visor has that inside line, squeezing de Cortel. There's contact, and into the wall goes de Cortel.
Oh, it was the lightest of touches, but it's enough to send de Cortel out and away then. And that's a very big shame then, because he was doing so well in 4th position. And it seems to be a curse as Luis Felipe goes off then in sympathy down at Bill Mitchell. He clips the wall, and his high charge, then it's all but sorted then. Here's the replay of exactly what happened there. It was the minutest of minute touches then between them as it continues on this battle right now here. Tellez now looking at 4th place with Carlos Visor then just ahead of him, and now he's going to go around the outside of turn number 1. That's not advisable. It won't work for him just there. As you can see now, Scott McIntyre, he's now looking at 4th place thinking, how on earth have I got into that position, Paul?
It's fantastic driving. That's what's got him into this position, and he's right in the prime spot here as well, as we're on lap 9 of 13. Heading down towards turn 5, he's in that slipstream, he's in that draft, so he's going to get the extra speed, the benefit of having less air resistance against his car, so it's going to be quicker down the straight, looking to the inside, and, well, trying to force the mistakes from Tellez, and Your Visor ahead. Not able to do it for the time being, but he's letting them know he's there, and he's wanted to come through and get that 4th place.
Yeah, he certainly does. He wants to try and force the issue right now. Lorinas, Vitakunas, then around the outside. He'll try on David Waldock. Then not going to quite happen. Then battle for 13th position. He'll try it again into this next uphill left-hander. Not going to happen just yet. You can see trying to sneak down the inside. It's John Godfrey then, who has had a little bit of issues of his own then, and he can't quite do it. Into the hurry downs then. These three will come along, and it's a very difficult section here. It's all about just trying to work these 90-degree corners then into your advantage. A little bit wide there is that run then from that driver of what was David Wardock. Then he'll try and hold it then on the inside of this big long carousel. Vitakunas now closed up there, Paul, and now here comes John Godfrey then, who's going to get that run. Let's hope it doesn't end like it did last lap.
Yeah, certainly hope it doesn't end like last lap. And, well, Scott McIntyre, meanwhile, up in 5th place now. He's got ahead of Tellez, so up another position for McIntyre. It's allowed Your Visor to try and pull away, but certainly those guys are not going to give up yet, and McIntyre's giving it absolutely everything as they go along. Waldo,
oh, he's run wide! Oh, and he's gone off there, and that is Carlos Visor. So 4th place is cursed overall then. He gets turned around. There's damage to the front wing. He will continue then for the last 4 laps of this event, but out of 4th place, he's gone and lost another one. Replay on screen. Ran a little bit wide at the final corner, and that's a big, big mistake from Carlos Visor there, Paul.
Yeah, it's an easy one to do. Once you get onto that grass and that dirt, and there's a little bump there, and bang, into the wall he goes, out to the scene of the accident. And, well, that's dropped him down positions, down to 9th place from 4th, and he's under pressure from behind. And in fact, Zaza's going to go past up into that 9th place now, so down to 10th for Your Visor. And I have a feeling that he's just going to carry on plummeting down the timing screens here.
Same here, battle for 4th though. Tellez looking to come back then at McIntyre in the number 5 machine. He goes late on the brakes into the corner. He will ride the apex beautifully. He'll get a little bit of a wiggle then, which will bring McIntyre back into the fight, but he's not close enough. Dave Martin now looking to try and get onto the back of this one. And again, Tellez runs a little bit wide there through that corner. Couldn't get the power down. Around the outside of the hurry downs is not going to be the ideal situation for McIntyre. And at the moment, nobody wants to be the best of the rest in 4th position right now. Into the left, then they come along, and here comes the carousel. So right now, it's all about who can stay on the island here, because we've lost already 5-6 drivers, and even more to incidents so far here, Paul.
Yeah, we've lost 7 drivers now in this race. De Cortel's the latest one to retire from this one. Tellez looking, he's looking defensive because, oh, look at this now, going very close between Scott McIntyre and Tellez. McIntyre having to get out of it a little bit here and you know what? One man that we haven't talked about really in this race is Dave Martin, who's hanging around behind. Oh, off he goes, Telles. That's given Martin and McIntyre the position. Telles having to turn the car around. He's got front wing damage. That's a big one. He locked up his rear tyres under braking going into Canada corner. Yeah, he just touched the grass on the outside, and that's what lost him the positions. And well, Telles, he's the latest one to head up back to the pits, and he's retired now.
Yeah, he is retired, and that's a big shame. In fourth place, then, seems that nobody wants it. Martin wants fourth now in the 16. He'll now go to the outside here, heading towards turn number 1, and I think he might just try and get it there. He doesn't have the turn in, so McIntyre will take it then as he backs out of it quite a bit then into that corner. And as you said there, Paul, just clipping the grass just a smidgen would be enough to turn this car around. And for Ateo Telles then, he tried everything to hold that car, but in the end he ran out of route and ran out of time as well. Side by side, Godfrey through then on Wardock then into turn number 1. So that battle then is continuing for 12th position right now and doing a good job. Let's get that graphic back up again, because Scott McIntyre is up an astounding 13 positions for the day, and actually that will go back down to yeah, it will stay at 13 even. Dave Martin running a little bit wide.
Yeah, certainly did. Your visor, by the way, has been into the pits, so it looks like he's changed his nose cone. Obviously suffering with that, but he's nowhere near anybody now, so he's just having to just try and finish this race, which, to be honest, looking at this field, 8 cars out so far, it's taken a lot of effort just to finish this one today. It has always been a tough track to race at, and as I was saying, it's not the widest track here, not a lot of runoff in places, so easily able to pick up damage, and that's what we've been seeing today here, with some great action, but also high drama.
Yeah, high drama, and there's been some really big gains here throughout the field. Rodrigo Zarza's +7. Claude Jeunesse then is up 10 here, so is Jurian Gronen up 10 positions. And you look even further down, the likes of Gary Teal up 6, David Wardock up 6. And you look at those here, though, at the front 3, though, they have stayed 1, 2, and 3, though, all day long. Haven't had a battle to save their cotton socks right now. You can still see, though, Boris Bolstra will have 2 laps to go then when they cross this battle for 4th then. One of the closest here up on circuit here, Dave Martin, still looking to try and get that run. Doesn't have that confidence, though. Runs a little bit wide coming out the final corner there. As you can see, that's Claude Jeunesse there behind then, having a little bit of an issue. A half spin then, and that's starting to bring Rodrigo Zarza back into it then. So now the mind's starting to play games here. Concentration starting to falter a bit here, Paul.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeunesse did well to hold on to that one, to be honest, because that was a huge area. Went so far wide, almost did what Jarvisa did a couple of laps beforehand, but managed to hold on to that one and is able to carry on. He's still got about 2 seconds between him and Zarza, so I don't think he needs to be worrying too much about Zarza, but any more mistakes like that and Zarza will be pouncing on that one. And this is it, there's a lot of drivers that we've not really talked about in this one that have come through just purely because of the high attrition rate, and some really good driving from them as well. Zarza being one of those who's had to make moves in this race.
Yeah, you have to make the moves, you have to make them work right now, and that has been the key throughout this event then. As you can see, McIntyre starting to pull away then from that driver of Dave Martin as things currently stand. There's a little bit of a semi-battle going on between Gronen and Scott Newton there in the 6. Newton with that front wing damage is looking to try and just wrestle the car home as things stand, and for the moment he just isn't quite close enough to give Gronen then that big worry that we so normally see him towards the front of the field with there. He is 6th in the championship, and this was not the event he wanted. Just to give you a reminder then of the retirees that we've had so far today: Ateo Telles, Jerome de Quartel, Luis Felipe Robber, Daniel Araujo, Fabio Milani, Angus Waddell, who was looking for 3rd in the championship, and Ollie Kvoka as well in the number 10 machine. And you can see, though, that gap is opening up here in this battle for 4th then. Martin doesn't have the pace, and you have to be a little bit worried here, Paul, because the more that you make those mistakes, the more that you're just edging a little bit wide, you do have these problems here. The battle of P number 9, though, still going on right now. Scott Newton then looking to get right back into it then here. Down on the brakes he goes, and he gets a big slide, and he just about holds it. No, he gets that half spin. That's a big error, and he's got to now play the $1 million point return.
Yeah, and you know what? I think for Scott Newton, it's going to be just marked off as a really bad day at the office there, as he loses another place to Till as well. So Waddell, Newton has not been having the best day today, and that Apex Racing UK driver he's just got to maybe use the experience from that to take in to any future races. Next season, of course, could possibly be his chance. But yeah, that was the battle there between him and Jeroen, well, it's ended up that little mistake into Canada corner. It's not the first mistake we've seen into Canada corner as well. So, you know, plenty of drivers are really finding how hard it is as we're on to the final lap.
We are Dave Martin side by side with Scott McIntyre. Battle for fourth. Martin has been playing possum. Round the outside, he'll go to the inside then. Tries the driver on Scott McIntyre, and McIntyre gets the better run. Martin can't do anything about it then. He'll have to wait behind then, and you can see they are about 25 plus seconds behind your race leader right now. Such has been the dominance of his drive here today. Has a 5-second lead over everyone else right now, and to tell you where Boris Spolstra is, he is now heading himself down the kettle bottoms. Doesn't have too long to go then in this event. He rounds Canada corner then into the right-hander, takes all of the curb, a little bit more if he so richly dared. Bill Mitchell then here this corner of turn number 13B, and now the final corner, turn number 14 then, the last corner, and it will be an unchallenged corner for an unchallenged champion. And we said here that this is the proving ground for Formula One. Watch out for him in the next coming years. Boris Spolstra of the Scuderia Leone team wins in style at Road America, and he'll take it from Mark Usher in second, who will hold off Jan Schwieter for third. The battle for fourth, McIntyre holds out for the moment, Martin needing a miracle, and for the moment Martin is not the miracle man as things seem here, Paul.
Yeah, but there's always this last corner. We've seen people caught out by it, but McIntyre, great run out of there. Martin is not giving up. He's in that slipstream. He's trying everything, but it's just not going to quite happen, I don't think. As they go across the line, they're going to be almost side by side across the line. And who is it? By 32 thousandths of a second between them. Wow, what a close finish. McIntyre just getting it.
Yeah, he just about managed to get it, and I don't think Newton's going to get it on tail as well there in the 14. And that's a really big shame in that respect. The final driver then who will look to come across the line is that 21 of Carolus Joe Weiser then. As you can see, Newton can't get that one over the line. Let's just slow things down then, ladies and gentlemen. This is how everything ended up in the final race of the season. Boris Spolstra then takes a dominant victory by 5.1 seconds overall. Mark Usher will come home in second, with Jan Schwieter in third. Scott McIntyre then will climb 13 positions overall, well, 14 positions even. I can't even do some maths now. I'm really tired. McIntyre then finishes in fourth. Dave Martin in fifth. Claude Jeunesse then in sixth position, but had a big worry towards the end of this one, with Rodrigo Zaza there in seventh. Carlos Garcia Ramos de Lorenzo Cesares then will finish in 8th position. Jurian Gronen then will finish 9th, with Laurinas Vitakunas then rounding out your top 10. John Godfrey will finish 11th, plus 6 for the day then for David Waldock, 7th for the day for Gary Tail. Scott Newton will drop 6th then, with front wing damage to 8th, and from 4th position, Carolus Jalveiser can only finish 15th. A lot of attrition then here at this event as we lose many drivers. Aseo Teles, Jerome de Quartel, Luis Felipe, Rob Burt, Daniel Araujo, Fabio Milani, Angus Waddell, the number 1 car, and Ollie Kvoka as well. We're going to step aside, ladies and gentlemen. Post-race coverage from Road America will be coming to you just after this. Well, it would be a brilliant, brilliant end to what was a very exciting season, as the Formula Renaults normally tend to produce. It produced a very predictable winner in the end in the form of Boris Bolstra. He'd take the title, and he will take that with pride going to boot right now. And that battle for second, of course, was so ever important as we move forward. We do have a driver standing by for interview. His day hasn't gone the way that he would have liked to. Ollie Kvoker standing by. Ollie, the day didn't work for you here today. An incident that happened in the opening 3 laps, it put an end to the racing, and for you, not the result that you would have been hoping for to end what has been a very, very exciting season.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, this week was pretty much a good replica of the season, because the week started actually quite well in terms of driving, and always had good races. Setup was quite good, could have been a great result today, but I wasn't a little bit impatient on the very first lap because I messed up qualifying, and yeah, just tried to be a little bit faster than the rest at the start, which ended up in a collision where I tagged David Waldock and yeah, broke my front wing. Came back into the pits, repaired it, but then I had like 40-second gap to the rest of the pack, and there was no point in trying to continue. Plus, I edited something wrong in my pit stop, so in the end I had 50 liters of fuel in my car, so that didn't work out well.
Well, 50 litres means that you'll certainly be going for a long time then moving through the races. You found yourself then throughout the season doing pretty well in terms of the points we're looking at. You're inside the top 25 coming into the final race of the season. For you, you know, you managed to get 6 wins overall of the season, 45 times into the top 5. For you, you've been pushing and pushing, and the work has paid off, recognised as one of the quick drivers then inside this Formula Renault. For you, do you think the season has anything to improve on? And do you feel that you find yourself in a position where, you know, you are challenging drivers on a regular basis?
Well, the season has been an improvement, definitely, in terms of building setup and get the car to set up better, and to get the car well, suited my driving style, basically. I have a sort of little bit aggressive driving style, so my setups need a little bit more of a steer, and I actually was able to do that despite the lack of downforce for Road America, and it worked out quite well. But I need to find better rhythm, and definitely need to be more consistent, because that was pretty much my main problem this season. I didn't got the results that I wanted, and I could have actually achieved. So yeah, need to improve on that.
Yeah, that certainly does seem to be the case. And of course, you found yourself in a situation during the week there. You did lose your father, and us at RaceSpot would like to offer our condolences then for the loss that you have received. For you, you know, you've been pushing hard all season. You've been looking to try and, you know, get that big benefit. And, you know, sometimes you do have to go back to family in that sort of respect and look to try and find the people who support you the most. For you, you know, are you going to be looking to try and race on in your father's memory and hopefully get some big gains and results in the hope that, you know, you'll be pleasing him from up there?
Yeah, well, that's actually why I ran the my tribute livery for this week. It will change to the normal livery for the next season. I don't know what car I'm driving though, but we'll see. Yeah, the last few weeks have been really tough. We were at hospital for 2 times every day for several hours, and yeah, it was quite hard. But I mean, in the end, together with the family, we managed it, and it's actually a good relief for us, for him especially, that he doesn't have to suffer anymore, because he had a disease called COPD, which yeah, doesn't make life easy. Had problems with his with breathing from day to day. You can really see that it was getting more difficult every single day, and yeah, it's actually quite good that he doesn't have to suffer anymore. So that's the positive thing.
positive thing, and the positive thing moving forward. A sad, somber note then to end our interview, but Ollie Kvoker then a good job today, but in the end it didn't end out the way that he would have wanted. A non-finish then to end the season. Paul, you will be standing by with the driver of Scott Newton. He always loves a chat.
Yeah, Scott Newton always loves to get in touch with us here, and well, from one driver who didn't have the best of days to another one, Scott, you were having a pretty strong race to start with, qualifying 8th place in the grid. You were working well at the front, but then just get involved in a little bit of an incident. Just talk us through your race today.
Hey gents, yeah, it was just fairly reasonable qualifying, given the fact that these races are at 4:45 in the morning for me. So yeah, not much practice had this morning, but yeah, just going into Canada corner, I think lap 3 or 4, and then there was a car on the inside, and I'm not sure if it was netcode. I haven't looked at the replay yet, but yeah, so I ended up having a little collision there, and yeah, just sort of went backward from there, making my way back up to P9 on 2 or 3 to go, and then same issue again, same corner, and then yeah, just trying to salvage not getting DQ'd with the amount of incident points that I had.
Well, that's it, and you were able to still keep up with Gary Teal at the end there, and was pushing all the way to that white line at the end of the race. So, considering you had a little bit of damage there as well, and you're having to struggle with the car, still able to push on and try and get a strong finish at the end there.
Yeah, definitely. Would have liked to have finished within the top 5 to get a better result than I have in terms of points, so I can at least keep the top 5 that I have, but I've still got 2 more races to use up, so I'll have to pick and choose when I do those, try and get those points back.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm looking at the points now going into this race, because they haven't updated yet for this race, and it was 6th place that you were in, not that far behind that 5th place, but you only had Hugo Preto behind by 5 points as well, so really close on the standings there between the 3 of you there for that battle for 5th place. So the week's not over yet. You can still sort of maybe get a good couple of results there, but this is the race where you get the really big points, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Having some really strong results at the start of the season after Sebring, it sort of fell away quite heavily, and I haven't been able to get those results which I desperately needed to at least stay within the top 3, which was really great at the start of the season. But yeah, obviously the top 5 was the goal, and still pushing hard to get that result.
Well, just finally, before we let you go here, Scott, just talking about the season as a whole, as you say, really good strong start there, and results not quite going your way then over the whole season, but still able to battle it out for those top positions in the championship.
Yeah, definitely, especially with I think some of the tracks that I are particularly strong at the start of the season, minus Donington, given that was Christmas week and all that. But yeah, all of the races up to about week 5 were really strong. Few podiums in there, which was really good. High SOF as well, which was awesome. And then yeah, with after it was Silverstone, and yeah, I just lost that little bit of a groove that you so desperately need to maintain points here in the series.
Okay, and just before you get off, anyone you want to give a quick mention to while you're here?
Yeah, definitely. I'd just like to give you guys a shout out as well for putting on an awesome broadcast as well every week. It's made the trip to get up much more easier. So yeah, huge thanks to you guys. Also to the Formula Renault community for making this the Raceport Prime Time as well. Obviously this is the car that I drive, so huge appreciation for you guys. And also I'd like to thank the Apex Racing UK sponsors, Sim Peters PC Systems, JCL Sim Racing, Leo Bodner, Sim Steering, and Elite Driver Services.
Okay, so there we are then. Scott Newton finished in the race 14th, and as I was saying, was 6th place in the championship going into this week. Thanks a lot, Scott.
No, it's cheers, fellas.
And that will be all that we have time for then this evening, ladies and gentlemen. That brings an end to this season's RaceSpot TV primetime. But do not fret, ladies and gentlemen, because it will be back next season in a form of you will choose every single week to choose which series you want to be the one that will broadcast here on the Friday night. And, well, you will certainly see a lot going on then during the week. The big weekend is here. Super Saturday, we will call it, because first you have that Formula Renault Sim Cup. Then the Porsche Super Cup will be heading to you before it comes to a dramatic conclusion with the first round of the iRacing.com Grand Prix World Championship Series. It will be one that you can't afford to miss, to see the likes of Martin Kroenke, Gregor Hutu, the likes of Bono Hui, Chembol Bassi, you name them, they will all be there and will all be fighting. Don't count out, though, all the other broadcasts we will have during the week. Week 13 will be coming up next week. That's been Paul Smith. That's been Hugo Louis. I've been Jake Sperry. Watch out for Boris Spolstra, though, in 2018, when he looks to try and potentially qualify for that Formula 1 car. We know this is the proving ground that if you're quick here, you're probably going to be quick in the big McLaren MP430. Keep your eyes out then on the Flying Dutchman. Good night.